What's up? What's up? All right.
Ah,
So today we are talking about the Twilight Batman, Robert
yes,
Pattinson, the one and only, the new era of the
yes.
DC universe, right? Right? So we got some hot takes, we got some cold takes, we got some takeout, we got
We,
you had wings.
yeah, I did have
I had a
takeout.
burrito, so yeah,
Okay,
we're taking out with hot takes.
okay.
Um, yeah, man. So I guess really to kick it off, let's talk about the man behind the mask, Mr. Pattinson. How do we think he stood up on his debut? I mean, he's been in a couple things since he was extra sparkly Team Edward,
Yeah,
but like he's
or
a great
since he was a
actor, but
magic boy.
Magic Boy,
Yeah,
sparkly sparkly fingers. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you think he carries the mantle?
I do. I think he did really well,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you compare this movie to like the comics it's based off of.
Right.
So it's to
Source
me this,
material,
yeah,
he was accurate to which
very accurate to the
any
source material.
any particular comics because there have been a few.
Specifically the year one comics, and
Mm-hmm.
there's two other ones that they reference, and I don't know why I can't remember what they are.
Well, give me
But
like a 15-second synopsis on year one. Like if they're drawing heavily from there in your opinion. What
it's
was
just it's how Batman starts out,
okay.
right? Starts out learning to be a detective and figuring shit out. I think the movie itself did all that very well. Like there's a scene where you can tell like he's new to this.
Mm-hmm.
When he goes up onto the roof, he's running from the police, and he hesitates before he jumps
Yeah.
because he's like scared. Like this is the first time he's really doing any of
There's
this.
stuff like that sprinkled throughout
Yeah,
the
sprinkled
the
all throughout the
movie. I
movie.
mean, we see in like the opening shot, he's got the journals
Yeah,
that he's writing in, right? And you see
yeah.
October year 2, so you know
Uh-huh.
it's fresh.
And his main gadget are those like contacts, so you can keep
Hmm.
track of everything that he's doing and learning.
I
Like,
thought that was a
I,
cool addition. I don't know if
yeah,
that's
I do
comic book
too.
material, but I thought that was a good thing that's going to help, I think, expand his detective repertoire. Like he's
Yeah,
obviously got the
definitely.
batarangs, but it's cool to see some like detective gadgets shown off. I think for the first
That
time.
he had one battering.
He did, yeah. Why did only one side of the thing come off?
He didn't throw it.
No.
It was like a field knife.
Yeah, he used
Uh,
it. Yeah, he used it like a field knife.
but I think in that respect, like he's very good. And the movie is very good at doing that. And I remember like Robert Pattinson not knowing that it was a detective movie until he watched it, and he was like,
Yeah, I
"Oh,
saw that
that's what this
interview.
is."
Yeah.
I was like hesitant. I was like, "Come on, son, you gotta
I
know.
mean,
You gotta know better."
if you took his scenes in a vacuum, like they definitely show off the detective stuff here more. But
Yes, I really
he's
appreciate
not
that
the world's greatest detective. He obviously didn't outsmart
no
the Riddler. I
at
mean,
all.
yeah,
Honestly, the Riddler won. Honestly, if we were being real, the Riddler won. If
for
he had just shut
sure.
up,
If he had just yeah, the Riddler defeated himself. Riddler is his own
yeah.
greatest enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think later he'll probably get better at like being a detective. That's probably what the next movies will be. He has
Mhm.
all these notes. He's learning how to be a better detective. But then
He's got
he
terabytes
also,
of contact lens
yes,
video.
everything he needs, all the Zoe
Mhm.
Kravitz nudes. Uh,
Yeah.
he has all
That's
his
so true. She was walking around with
everything he
those
needs.
things for a while.
Yeah, she just had them. I
I
forgot
wonder
she
he
had them
took
at
him
one
into the
point.
like when she walked into the bathroom. I wonder if he was like, "Oh, hold on, stand by. This
But
is."
he has all these notes,
Hmm.
and I think later he'll get better. But he's like a terrible Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
and
All
because
right. So
he wasn't Bruce
flip
Wayne
the
at all.
script. Yeah. Now we get to see Bruce Wayne for all of 10 minutes of that 5-hour movie.
Right, like
So I think he
barely
maybe
anything.
had 3 lines. Yeah. Yeah. He confronts Falcone.
Right.
He barely even says a
Uh,
word to him. It was more like a look. And then
mm. He goes to a funeral. and then he talks to like Alfred and the other woman in the mansion that work with Alfred.
Yeah, but like most of the
That's it.
time he was talking to Alfred, he was out of the mask, but like,
Hmm.
dude, I feel like if he's still wearing the eyeliner
Oh,
and
he's still Batman.
he's still Batman in that moment. That's not
Okay,
Bruce. Bruce Wayne
that's
is
fine.
like philanthropist. Bruce Wayne is when Christian Bale shows up at that dinner with Harvey Dent and his ex-girlfriend, and he's like, can you pull up some table chairs right here? And he pulls up like his ballerina girlfriend. Like that's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
when you're throwing the mansion, um, that party where the Joker like crashes the party. That's Bruce Wayne.
That's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, we
And
got
I
to
think
see none of that, which is kind of disappointing for a 3 hour movie.
yeah, but I think that was the point, right? Because it's
Mhm.
only his second year, like you said, and now
Mhm.
he doesn't have the balance, so he
Right.
doesn't know how to balance both. And I think part of that is also showcased in the movie because one of the main issues they brought up, like Alfred says, "Hey, yo, you're about to lose a company. You have to do both. Like you have to go and have these meetings. You have to be Bruce Wayne.
Sure.
This is actually your family's legacy." And then Robert's
He
like,
has like
"No,
that come to Jesus at the very end where,
right."
I think he's gonna maybe in the next movie not only be a better detective but learn that he's got to take what he's been given and make the most out of it
Mhm,
and be like a good guy and not just punch
mhm.
people in the face over and over again.
Like he's
Um,
beating people's ass.
yeah, definitely no
Mhm.
formal training there. Maybe we'll get to see more of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of other Batmans, Christian Bale, what do we uh, what do we think about this as far as other DC movies? How does he stack up against Batfleck? How does he stack up against Bale,
Mm. I it gets
Adam
Bale or
West,
just oh
Adam
so the
West?
so the other Batman movies, not just the
Yeah,
other DC movies.
Kevin Conroy. We can do the animated ones too. I mean,
Yeah, the animated series is untouchable. You
yeah,
know,
Kevin Conroy is
yeah,
that dude.
yeah. But as far as like the other Batman go, I think Christian Bale is still like the best Batman to me because it's the best Batman. Those three are the best Batman movies.
Mhm.
Um, and then I'll put Robert Patterson after Christian Bale. I love
Mm.
the Michael Keaton ones because the Tim Burton take is like really good.
Yeah,
But
that's wild.
as far as like films go, it's the Bale and then this Robert Pattinson one is pretty good. Batfleck is at the bottom to me. They kind of
They
just
just made
didn't
him like
try.
a big brawler dude that had a bunch of gadgets. They
Yeah,
were
but they
just
because he was supposed to be based on that the Frank
mm,
Miller Batman
I could
series
see
that he
that. I could see that.
so he was older, he was retired, then he came out of retirement, did all this shit. So that would have actually been good if they did it, but I think Ben Affleck just didn't want to.
Yeah.
And I think this movie was supposed to actually be Ben Affleck, and he didn't want to do it.
Mm.
So then they flipped it.
Well,
Robert
that
Patterson became
yeah, they wouldn't have been
Pattinson.
able to do the origin story otherwise they would have had to like de-age Ben Affleck. I mean, Ben Affleck
Yeah.
is not a young guy anymore. So,
But I think at
yeah.
this point we don't need like I appreciate we didn't actually get an origin story.
Right.
We got like a straight into yeah I'm Batman. No, like you don't need to see his parents die again. Everyone knows.
They didn't do an origin story with Batfleck either, but
Yeah, he just
I don't
jumped
think
in.
yeah, I don't he was like I have a mother named Martha too. Oh, we're best friends now?
It's
Uh,
such a terrible,
yeah, I would have preferred an origin story to that.
so terrible. Yeah, so
Yeah.
terrible.
Um so talking about other DC movies, does this fit in? What are we doing? We got Flashpoint coming up. They're going to do a soft reset on the entire
Yeah,
canon. Are we? What do you think? Are we keeping Pattinson, or is he going to
I
be
hope they
like
do.
another Joaquin Phoenix Joker, where
Yeah,
he's just like a fun side story?
I hope they keep him honestly.
Hmm.
I would appreciate for like DC and Warner Brothers to hone in on the like you have this whole universe like Justice League, DC
Right.
Comics was set up to do what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so easy. Like it's right there for you. They always work together. All the heroes are like how many heroes in Bloodhaven and Gotham like they're all together. It's so
Hmm.
easy. So I
Yeah.
would hope that they keep Robert Pattinson. I hope Henry Cavill comes back. Although I'm not sure he
I feel
Is
like
I don't remember.
I think he's expressed interest in moving on to other projects. So, I
That
mean,
sucks.
they're gonna pay him a lot of money to keep being The Witcher, and he just signed on to be somebody else too. That's like a big nerd thing. Oh man, I have to look that up. But I think he's got some
That is tough.
obligations outside of DC.
Well,
And
the Flashpoint can like get a new Superman in there. Whoever didn't
mhm,
sign up, I know. What's his name? Jason Momoa signed on to continue.
mhm,
He's a pretty good Aquaman. I don't like the movie like that, but he's a pretty good Aquaman. So I hope Robert Pattinson stays on, and then they start this Justice League thing. Especially since now he's like an actual detective,
mhm.
and he can actually go and figure out like
And not
they can
just
do that
be like
that Justice League
the
Doom
team
movie.
builder person in like
Yeah,
his
like
entire role in the Justice League movie was literally just trying to put the team together and it didn't even
yeah,
work.
they
Yeah.
could do something entirely different.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really would love to see like a Justice League Doom movie,
Mhm.
like that Doom scenario. This is a movie for it, animated movie for it,
It was
but
good, man. I hope they continue
yeah,
to adopt this attitude that they have because, you
yeah,
look at the other DC movies compared to some of the other Batman movies of the past and it's just like tonally just so different. So
yeah.
I
And
like what they
there's
did
no like
here.
comic reference
No.
in the way that we would expect. And I appreciate the Robert Pattinson movie is very comic based. Same with Shazam. I'll give Shazam credit. Like Shazam was the best movie they've done, and Birds of
Mm.
Prey. Those three are like top
Oh yeah,
three.
forget about Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey didn't land with me as much as the first Harley Quinn movie.
Really,
Or
I like Birds. I loved it. It's really good. And then
yeah,
of course the second Suicide Squad is also
of course, yeah, that was
yeah
good. I mean, that was just James Gunn doing his own thing. And then
yeah
with Peacemaker as well.
the
Yeah.
show. I like the whole all that stuff that's they're starting to put out. It's like getting progressively better and better.
Hmm.
Uh, so I hope Robert Pattinson stays and they do
Yeah.
more and it
Lean
falls into that role,
lean
that
away from the
universe.
Snyderverse and let's bring in something new because that
Yeah,
Snyderverse stuff was not working out as much as they tried to force it. So
at all.
let's talk about this list to close it out here. We always have to bring it back to the IGN list. They just published this yesterday or the day before yesterday. All top um, theatrical Batman release movies, both animated and live action. Obviously, up at the top there, they got The Dark Knight. I think they know that that's just not going to sit anywhere below number one.
Mhm,
As far as most superhero movies are concerned, it's up there with the greats. But then,
mhm.
surprisingly, here at number two, they put The Batman, and then they trail down. I mean, we got The Dark Knight Rises at 11,
Mhm.
which I know you disagree with wholeheartedly. I
Yeah,
thought it
completely.
was not the best movie, but I definitely did not dislike it like that. Um, yeah, this is a pretty wild list.
Yeah, I feel like somebody paid for placement. IGN.
They're trying to make
They,
somebody happy. Somebody greased
yeah,
their pockets on this
grease some
one.
palms. It's payola for gamer and
It's almost like
nerd
yeah,
lists
but like if that's the case, they didn't even try.
at
They
all.
they just put the Dark Knight and then Batman, and then the rest of them were just random number generator, and they just put them
Yeah.
in there because the only thing I think I agree with is the Justice League theatrical cut being at the very very bottom. Uh,
Yeah. It should
somehow
be.
somehow even worse than Batman versus Superman, which was yeesh,
My
Martha.
mom's name is Martha too.
Martha.
What?
Just rename
I
the movie
can't kill you
Martha.
anymore. What?
Dear God. Yeah, that was rough.
It's not it.
Um, but yeah, you got some of the old Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George
Mhm.
Clooney. Those are all sprinkled in here. You got the Lego Batman movie sitting at a respectable seven. I think,
It doesn't need to be there.
again, this list makes absolutely
No
no
sense at all.
sense to me. I'm a little confused who even thought about comparing all of these movies to each other because they're just entirely different
Mm,
species, like comparing the Lego Batman movie with even Batman the Mask of Phantasm, which was
it's
the
great.
the old Warner Brothers animation, Kevin Conroy doing the voice.
Mm,
They're just entirely different movies. They're not trying to accomplish the same thing at all. So how are you going to say one's
at all.
better than the other? You know,
I think you could say one's a better film in general if we were just
I guess.
generally speaking, like how good of a film is this? But if you're doing that, I think the Bale Batman movies are like top three, however order you want to put them. They're great films. Uh, the Keaton ones are also great films, even though for some reason I think the sequel with Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretty low.
Mm.
Right? It was Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Riddler, and
Batman 1989 was that
that's Keaton.
that was
That's
Keaton,
that's the first one
and that
with
was that was
damn,
what
is it Uma Thurman? Who's Catwoman?
who was the
No, it's,
director? Was the director
yeah, Tim Burton. That's the
Tim
Tim
Burton
Burton
on
one,
that one?
which is it's like a great like uh portrayal. I think like Tim Burton's mind is great, so I enjoyed the way they do that, and that's the one with Jack Nicholson as Joker, and
Yeah. Well, long
yeah.
story short, I think the Batman, Robert Pattinson, deserves a spot pretty high on this list for that portrayal. I will say the
Mhm.
movie dragged for me a little bit more than I expected it to. It just kind of went on longer than I think it needed to in certain places. For a movie that was 3 hours long, I feel like we only visited like three sets the entire time. They were either in the club, in Wayne Manor, or on top of the police station, and like just rinse and
Right.
repeat. Like we just kept going back to those places. We were in the club for like an hour and a half. I'm confident. So the car chase was cool. There were some cool scenes in there, but I feel like we didn't really
Oh,
explore enough of Gotham in that 3-hour film. But
sorry. Side note. Sorry. There are three
yeah.
Keaton ones. My bad.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's Batman Returns, Batman Forever are the three
Okay.
Keaton ones.
Batman
My bad.
Forever. Gotcha. And then Batman and Robin is Kilmer or Clooney?
Batman and Robin's Clooney. I think Kilmer is the other one.
Batman Returns? Batman Forever?
He, no,
No.
Returns and Forever are. Oh no. Yeah, Batman Forever. Sorry, Batman Forever is Kilmer. Oh, that's the bad one.
Hmm.
Yeah, that is the bad one. Even though
Well,
for some reason I love it
it'll.
because the Riddler is great.
Which one was the one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker?
That's the
Man.
Batman, the 1989.
See, if they hadn't have done him up with some crazy looking makeup and made him look absolutely ridiculous, I think he would have been a cool take on Joker, but they made him look like a monstrosity. I mean, I guess on purpose. That's Tim
Yeah,
Burton for you, but
yeah,
yeah, man.
yeah,
Anyway, I'm excited to see where the series goes. Like Robert
yeah. I'm too.
Pattinson, definitely a talented guy, and I think they could definitely build off of this in a really positive way. So it'll be
Mm,
interesting to see how they expand upon this and how they integrate it. They definitely left some stuff at the end with the Joker being hinted at, trying to set up the next movie, and I don't know, maybe get a more developed Batman. That's all I want.
yeah, I think that's a good plot point though for the next one.
Mhm.
He learns the balance. He becomes a better detective,
Mhm.
and then maybe he learns how to fight without just using the boxing he learned from Alfred.
Yeah, so
So he's
he's
like,
got to actually use his mind and be one step ahead. Yeah, it would be cool. They
yes,
could definitely
that
pull
would
them both
be
together.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well, that's going to do it from us here today. We're going to head out. Thanks for sticking around and watching. Like, subscribe. This is Cameos.